Okay, I am just going to hang around until people show up, but we should be live. With Kagero, Deception 2. Let me just find the URL. Any second now we'll have a URL. Any second now. Thank you. Copy link address. I cannot see the chat right now. I'm not ignoring you. I will look at you in a second. Kagero time. And we have 2 viewers and no comments, so I will just hang around. Kagero time. And we have 2 viewers and no comments, so I will just hang around. Mods are indeed asleep. She should be up soon, though. Mods are indeed asleep. She should be up soon, though. Just change some of these values. Okay. The audio seems, I guess, right on my end. It's hard to tell. Okay. What is this? This is a game that I will explain when more people arrive. What is this? This is a game that I will explain when more people arrive. Oh, I'm echoing, I get it. Okay, got 5 viewers. We are 5 viewers strong. This is the game with the black-haired Ayane from Dead or Alive traps guys in her BDSM dungeon. No, that's Deception 4. This is Deception 2. Before it got, like, that horny. The Deception games start out as, like, just kind of straightforward strategy horror games, and then they gradually become hornier as they continue. Like, just let the demo loop one more time and then start. So this is running off, not technically original hardware, but it's running off PS3. So I have the PS1 disc in. And this game was, it was apparently going to be on the PS1 Mini. Because someone leaked, like, a list of, kind of ISO files that they had, like, they were going to put on and didn't, and this was one of them. Like, it's apparently still, like, the references to it are still inside that console, but it was not to be. Yeah, this is unlockable in one of the Dead or Alive games, because this is started off as this is a Koei Tecmo series, so they own it, so there's some Dead or Alive crossover. There's a Koei, like, Dynasty Warriors game where you can play as the characters from this in it. So I think the demo kind of gives you a rough idea of what this game is about. I was calling it, like, reverse survival horror, in that it's a game about, like, people go into a creepy castle and have to try to survive there, but you're playing effectively as the castle, through the sort of avatar of this creepy girl. So you have no direct means of attacking people. You just have to lay traps for them and hope they walk into them. So let's go. I used to play this a lot as a teenager. And yeah, this is my copy from 1999. So this is a 20-year-old copy. Yeah, yeah, she's in Warriors All Stars, the girl from this Millennia. And speaking of, we are now asked to name her. We are going to go Millennia because that is the default name. Hey, Neo Lucky. So in this world, there is a special immortal species with pearly blue skin and blue blood, and they're called Timenoids, or Tmd. And the Tmd are superior to humans in every way. Eons ago, when humans were feral and lived in chaos, the Tmd shared their wisdom and ways. The humans were grateful and respected the Tmd for enriching their lives. As Neo Lucky points out, TMD can also stand for too much dumb. Thus, the Tmd gained power naturally. This is the sequel and also prequel to the first Deception game. It's Deception 2, but at the end of it, it sort of ties into, like, you realize it's a prequel to the first game. I don't remember if the first game had the Tmd in it. I do have the first game, but I haven't played it for a while. So in this game, we do not play as a Tmd. We play as an orphaned human girl who was adopted by this Tmd lady who's called Yokal. And she is in love with, but I don't think you find out till later on, the king of the Tmd, who is called Eclipse with a Y. And if you think that's a stupid name, it's going to get much, much worse when we meet a guy who's literally called Goatbone. So what happens is the Tmd here are trying to teach Millennia, who is this girl that they've adopted, to like be the kind of like new Tmd, and she's gonna like operate on their behalf as a human. Yeah, Neo Lucky does not remember anything about this. This game has a very complicated branching storyline that you kind of would not expect from this. And I still do not know why they are called Timenoids or Tmd. They don't seem to have any control over time from what I remember. Okay, so we're starting. So this is like our test. So before every one of these... Actually, I'll just explain how it works. So like, this is the castle that we currently inhabit. This is the map of it. And you can see there's like a little legend down the side that shows what all the different like icons represent. And you can see these all, even if you haven't seen them, they're clearly some kind of trap, like this fire pit, pillars, pendulum, saws. And the way that you play this game is, you are Millennia, who is essentially defenseless. And what you have to do is you have to lure people around this place and trap them in those traps to get rid of them. So you can't really fight them directly. And you also have the ability to place your own traps. And the way the game kind of works is that you want to, like, combo the traps together. Like a sort of Rube Goldberg machine crossed with saw. So you want to, like, catapult people into a saw blade that also electrocutes them. And a lot of people don't know much about this series, but there have been... It goes up to Deception 4, but, like, there's also another one in the middle that's just called Trapt. That's T-A-R-P-T. Trapt. And in Trapt, it's I think nothing to do with Time Noids, but it's like the same kind of story. So, anyway, our only opponent here is this guy called Dar. And I'm going to do this mission a couple of times to show you there's different outcomes. It's kind of an interesting mechanic. So... So that's Millennia, the non-tombed lady. And Yokal is just telling us basically, like, we're the chosen one, we're superior to humans, so our job is to sacrifice any humans who come into the castle by using these traps. So... What other Tecmo Koei games have I played? I've played a lot of the Dynasty Warriors games. And, who remembers the classic SNES game Secret of the Stars? That was a Tecmo pre-Koei Tecmo game. So this is just Yokal explaining what we're doing. This thing is called the Loon. A loon is a healing thing. We get, I think, 1 loon per level. The first time I saw it, I thought that the L was a capital I, and it was Ioun, like the Ioun stones from Dungeons and Dragons. But if you check the menu, it does indeed call it a loon with an L. So that's our loon. Secret of the Stars is a borderline incomprehensible, quite primitive RPG that I just enjoy for the storyline being completely berserk. So this guy is our first victim. His name is Dar, and he's been lured to the castle by Yokal. So you can see Yokal's like, hey Millennia, this dude's here, go deal with him. Also, just for reference, if you're looking at this and thinking, oh, your connection seems to be dropping out, this frame rate's terrible. That's not the connection. This is just what it plays like. This is on hardware. So let's go meet Da. So they react to you. So he's like, oh, who is this? Now you can answer this question in different ways. So I'm going to start by showing you, like, how much kind of, not necessarily depth there is to this, but, like, a bunch of stuff can happen that you wouldn't expect. Like, they thought this through. So you can actually just say no. There are no time noids here. And then he'll just be like, well, why was I called here? Hey, Da. And he'll just ignore you. And then he gets kind of like... He's, like, sensible in a way that a lot of horror people aren't. And he's like, well, this place is creepy and I don't know why I'm here. I'm going to leave. And he just leaves. So... yeah, you can just not trap him. And he leaves. Because, like, the plot of this game is they're trying to kind of condition Millennia to be a, like, Time Noid successor by teaching her to kill people, but you can just let him go. He just gets creeped out and leaves. And then Yokal's like, oh, you're screwed up. Oh, Harvey, you haven't missed much, because I'm going to restart in a second. So, like, you get there's a currency called Arc. We only got 1,000 Arc from that because we didn't get hit, so we got the no damage bonus. But so no one died. But now you get this, like, little cutscene where Dar goes back to the village and is like, hey, I went to that creepy castle and there was a weird girl there, and then nothing happened, so I left. So he found a strange human girl, but there were no tund. And then they get suspicious, and they're like, well, that actually sounds a lot stranger than, like, you were lured here and there was nothing, we better go. Like, they kind of catch on that, oh, the tund are using millennia as, like, bait. So, this will lead to a follow-up in which Da comes back with his buddy Slash. So we now have two people. We've got Da and Slash, and you can click on them and get a little bio. So Slash, like, will behave differently because Slash is a warrior. So if he sees you, he's not just gonna, like, run away like Da did. He'll actually attack you. So I'm now gonna show you. Oh, Neil, lucky you have not seen the worst names in this yet. So, they've come back to kill us anyway, so I'm now going to show you. Let's just reset. And we'll start again and we'll actually kill Da. And we will get a different cutscene that leads to a different fight. And the whole game is set up like this. Depending on how you behave, the missions branch off, and there's an awful lot of them. And it can change who you encounter, and there's just a lot going on that you wouldn't initially think. The original Deception, that was played in first person, it looks a lot like Kingsfield, and it's the same kind of premise, but in Kingsfield 1, in Deception 1, you have to build the castle yourself. It's kind of like Dungeon Keeper. You, like, have control over the layout, and you can put down different rooms and corridors and stuff. But as a result of that, a single game of Deception 1 takes up an entire memory card for the PlayStation 1. So, if you wanted to make any progress in the first Deception, you had to have a dedicated memory card that was nothing but Deception. And that game is a lot slower and clunkier, so I'm playing 2 because it's the one I'm more familiar with. Deception 1 also let you make monsters. Had an interesting system where, like, you could kill the people who invaded the castle, but you could also capture them. And if you captured them, you could, like, Dr. Frankenstein style, stitch them together into creatures and have them, like, patrol the castle for you. And it had this really kind of, like, neat thing where if you did everything very, very precisely, you would be able to capture the princess of the kingdom that were attacking you and resurrect her as this, like, banshee thing. And then the knights would come to rescue the princess, recognize her, not realize she's now a banshee, and she would, like, kill them all. It was, like, this level of, you know, just thinking things through. So, this time, we will not spare Da. And I will show you how trap setting works. So, we'll say no. We are just a very normal girl and nothing is wrong. So, we know from playing it before that Da comes down the stairs here. So we'll go into trap set mode. This is where it gets interesting. So, the rooms become a grid. And you can place different things on the grid. You can place one thing on the ceiling, one thing on the floor, and one thing on the walls. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put a mega rock on this sloping staircase. I'm going to put a bear trap at the bottom of the staircase and an arrow slit facing the staircase bottom. So if this works out, Da should walk down here. And I'll be able to combo the traps together by catching him in the bear trap. And then, oh, he's going down the wrong flight of stairs! Die, you fool! Okay, let's try that again. They do this sometimes, it's not always predictable, so... Good. Come down the stairs. And bear trap. While he's in the bear trap, we hit him with the arrow and see we got a combo there. So... You'd hit him again. And this time we get told, well done. You are learning to be a creepy ghost girl. And I'm like, thanks very much. See, last time we only got the 1,000, but this time we got 800 for sacrificing Dar, 1,000 for taking no damage, and 490 for the combo. So all up, we got 2,290. And because we killed Dar this time, we get a different cutscene. Where Slash is like, what happened? And then Lilia, who is Dar's wife. If you look at Dar's bio, it mentions he has a wife called Lilia. She's like, my husband Dar went to this creepy castle and disappeared. And Slash is like, well, we'd better follow him. Have I played Drakengard? No. We did a Drakengard retrospective with Nick. If you listen to that, you'll notice that I don't say very much in it. And that's because there was a miscommunication and I thought we were going to talk about Nier Automata. So I had a bunch of notes for Nier Automata and none for Drakengard or the original Nier. So this time, instead of Dar and Slash, we just have Slash because we got rid of Dar. So we'll just keep going and, like, I'll show you, you know, like... We'll just play through it, I guess, until I, like, screw up and die. Oh, hello, Nick. Yes, we did. So yeah, the game is just going to keep branching and branching depending on who gets away, you know, who survives, how we kill them. And it's just like a, you know, it's a interestingly designed game. I was inspired to play it because at E3 they were showing off a game called Carrion that they called Reverse Horror. And I was thinking, this is kind of reverse horror. Oh, hey, Nick. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just, Sin is asleep, and I guess for future reference, Sin is going to the woods, for, like, 2 weeks at the end of the month. So, we're having to figure out what we're going to do for the 2 weeks she'll be there, because she's not going to have very good internet. So, I think there's just going to be a lot of live stuff with her talking to me, because we're not going to be able to, like, she's not going to be able to edit or anything, and won't be able to record, so we'll see what happens. So, Slash shows up, we can just say we don't know where Dar is or that we killed him. So I think we'll just be honest and say that we killed Dar. And then we get to do this whole, like, oh, to kill humans is my mission. There's a lot of dialogue options we can pick. In the woods, she's staying with her boyfriend's parents, who live in... I mean, she calls it the woods, which gives it the impression that it's, like... I'd imagine, like, some isolated shack, but apparently there's a bunch of shops near there. So... Okay, so Dar is going... Not Dar. Slash is going up the stairs, so... Let's try comboing some different traps together. We'll put that there. The traps all have different cooldowns as well. I want to try rolling a rock down the stairs, because that's kind of cool, so... Come on, Slash. Oh, he was too fast. Okay. can see that we do not move very quickly, and we kind of have no means of defense. So if you screw up setting up a trap, you are not in a good place. And there's no run button. Good, okay. And I hit myself with my own trap, Wile E. Coyote style. So let's try luring Dar into another room. I remember in the original Deception, I just built a gigantic hallway that was nothing but push walls. Am I going to get hit by this when I unpause? No, good, okay. Okay, so Dar... Why do I keep calling him Dar? Slash. Dar is a better name for a warrior, I think. Okay, he's following us. Sometimes they won't follow you. Sometimes they will show up and they will have a specific goal in mind. Like, they'll want to get to a certain room rather than kill you. And your goal in those cases is that you want to stop them doing that rather than, like... Cannot put a trap over another trap. Okay. Let's try some gas. And yeah, in those cases, like, it becomes a much different kind of game. You're not trying to defend yourself. You're trying to, like, guard a specific area. Where is he? Oh, he's coming through the door. Okay. Dare trap. We come back down here, the traps we set before are still active, which is cool. So let's just wait for Dar to follow us. Slash! Let's wait for Slash to follow us out. And yeah, he's not the brightest, he just walks back into where everything was before. So we managed to hit him with all three at once there. Now that he's wounded, he behaves differently. He's going to try to get away from us. He's going to try to head for the door, so... I'm going to set another trap. What haven't I shown off? We'll just set a bomb. Let's put it there. From memory, the bomb... What does it say it does? Yeah, the bomb knocks you. So the bomb, if it goes off, will knock him over to this here. So if that happens, I'll be able to drop a rock on him after the bomb goes off. And I think it knocked him in the wrong direction. Never mind. And that is the end of Slash. So this just leaves Lilia alive. And Lilia, now that we've killed Slash and Dar, she's going to go look for help. So this is, again, like, it's going to keep branching like this. Who is Kagero? I don't know. The games are all called Deception, but that one's called Kagero. Ah, it's Gaston. So now we have an even tougher guy to deal with. So now that we have 4048 arc, so arc is the currency. We can use arc to make new traps. So what do we got? Yeah, there's quite a lot already. You unlock more as you go along. So, like, let's build a magnet. Because one of the issues we were having there is people were walking down, like, the wrong flight of stairs. So if we build a magnet, we'll be able to attract them. It's like a reverse push wall. So, got ourselves a magnet. And let's, God, there's so much to choose from. It's beautiful. Huge iron blades emerge from floor. That sounds good. Oh, that's fine, Bob. This'll just stay up, so... I don't imagine this will go for very long, because I'm aware that, like, a lot of this game is quite slow, and you just spend a lot of time watching things happen in menus. Yeah, it is kind of Monster Rancher-ish. Okay, so let's set the ones we're going to use. So we want... Okay, we've already got them, so it's all good. So, who are we going to deal with this time? It is... Oh, we've got Hawk and Gaston. Now, Hawk is a soldier, like... Do the victims keep getting stronger? Yeah, it depends on what you do. Like, if you don't immediately kill a bunch of them, they don't send soldiers after you. And I think Lilia can go into the mansion at one point if you, like, set it up right. So Hawk is a soldier, same as Slash, but Gaston, well, he's a crusher. He's a brawny childhood friend of Slash and a bit antisocial. And I don't know how long I'm going to last, but the names get increasingly ridiculous until we meet a wizard who's just called Goatbone. It would be fun if they... Well, they kind of did remake it. The PS3 and PS4 ones, they have an online component where you can build your own levels and, like, make people run through them. Okay. So where are... Oh, okay, so they've split up. So you can see, like, one is approaching from one side, the other is approaching from the other side. So they've kind of got us in a pincer. So, okay, that's the crusher. So what we want to do is... Do I admit to the murder of Slash? Yes, I do admit to murdering Slash. So, let's think about how to deal with this. Let's set a magnet wall. We'll set them... How do I rotate these? Can I rotate them? Okay, so they rotate automatically, but I can't put them on that wall. That's annoying. Okay. Let's Let's put one here. We'll put the heavy claw that we developed there. And the spike rock... I'll put the spike rock up here and see if I can crush someone who's on the stairs a bit later, so... Where are we going? Over here. Now, hopefully I can get him to chase me up the stairs and drop this on him as he's climbing it. Oh, I missed him. So yeah, the more aggressively you play, the more the game responds by sending more aggressive people after you. It is, pretty neat. Try to get him in our magnet claw thing again. But now I'm stuck in my own magnet. Oh no. Is there input lag? I don't know how to describe it. It is incredibly slow. Like, it is running at, like, somewhere in the vicinity of, like, 12 FPS normally. So I think it's time for us to vacate this room, because it's not really an optimal place to fight these guys. So let's see if we can get another spike on him. Come on. And we missed. Let us run for it. The trap springing is it's really like it's on a grid is the thing. It's kind of like the original Tomb Raider in that it appears that you are able to like move. If you watch it in motion, it looks like it's kind of free movement, but effectively you're on a grid. So let's try to trap him on the wall with a magnet, drop the rock next to him, and then claw him at the same time. Oh, it might be too fast for us. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, this guy is fast. So you have to approach him differently. And I'm probably going to kill myself now because I've dropped a rock on him, but it's going to crush me as it rolls down. Oh, feed stopped, sorry. Yeah, that'd be the Elgato. It, has its issues. No, the Elgato is not an especially reliable device. No, I can see the feed, I just wasn't paying it. I noticed the sound dropped out and wasn't sure why. Hang on. And Okay, let's have fun dealing with the Elgato. Aegon's curse has befallen me. Yeah, this thing is destined to screw up at least once per stream. It usually takes slightly longer, though. It usually gradually breaks down, whereas this one is... What Elgato am I using? I'm using the HD60. AKA the cheapest one, which is possibly why it's not working out very well for me. I think it's more the computer itself, which I've talked about before, and is not very good, I would say. It is a off-the-shelf thing designed to write essays on. And yeah, it's it has a habit. It's not ancient. It's not an ancient computer. It is a cheap computer that I had to buy at short notice when my last computer died, and I had a 400-page thing to submit in like a month. So I just had to make a mad dash for the computer store the next morning and get like whatever was there and just get back to work. So that was a couple of years ago, and I've been cursed with this potato since then. So let's just wait for Elgato to restart. While we're doing this, I might actually just reset, and I'll try another path. Yeah, that was my dissertation. Yeah, my dissertation was due in the end of December, and it died at the end of September. So it was like the worst possible point, and I just had to like... So not only did I lose work, I had to do a whole lot again, like really quickly. Well, Sin knows I need a better... Sin is constantly telling me to get a better computer. It's like... It's... I don't really do anything on the computer apart from edit video, which is, like... slow, but, like, it doesn't crash. The Elgato crashes, though. Okay, we should be back. Turn the... It's the wrong window capture being turned off. There we go. Okay, we back. No, have we frozen again? Oh, for God's sake. Okay, now we're back. Are we back? We seem to be back. Okay. I'm just going to look at this and see if it starts moving again. It's like Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. No? Ah, I get it. I get it. It's capturing the window. So if I have the window minimized, it doesn't capture it. That's fine. Let's go. Okay. We're back, a shithouse computer story. Okay. Yes. Hello, yes, Sin is not with us at the moment. She'll probably wake up soon and come in chat and start yelling at me. I like how we gained an additional 5 viewers when the stream crapped out and there was nothing on screen but a notepad file. Did she catch a cold? No, she's fine. She's just asleep. Because it's like, I think around like 6 a.m. her time, so she'll have gotten up, but she'll be getting ready for work, so. Let's do the spare Dar thing and see what happens. Yeah, well, you can bully me if you want, Neo Lucky. There, now we have sound. Well, see, we've got a lot of viewers who just come for Sin bullying me. So basically, we just need to hang on until Elden Ring is out, and then we can go back to making, like, Souls-adjacent content. But, up until then, I think we're just going to try to get by on people enjoying her yelling at me. That said, we did record 2 things with Smotown recently. So one of them's going to be on our channel, and it's about the choir. The other one is about Cos, and that'll be on his channel. And we're going to do 2 on the choir, so I have messaged Mal about her coming on and doing kind of the choir part 2. Because she has, like, different interests than Smo does. I'm glad people like the chemistry between Sin and I, yeah. It sort of... It just kind of evolved naturally. We did not think it would happen like this. Yeah, Sin and Nick just recorded 2 things on Sekiro. So this is the path where Slash and Dar both show up. Since I'm playing this on a PS3, I might actually put in the PS3 one toward the end of this. I think we can only kill Slash, because I think Dar will just run away if Slash is killed. And then we'll get a slightly different... Because Dar wants to kill you regardless, so... Slash wants to kill you. I keep calling him Dar because it sounds like a barbarian's name. We're back to these traps again. Let's just... The classic bear trap. Hopefully it will have charged by the time he... Ooh, it might have. Okay. Oh, it didn't. Never mind. A slash. There we go. That is a 3-hit combo. So this is the kind of stuff you want to do to build up your arc. Is you construct combos like this. Am I winning? Well, we killed Slash. At this point, I think Dar is going to freak out and run off. Where is Dar? Oh, he's just back at the... He is just back here. Hello. It's me, the creepy girl. No, I'm letting you go. I'm letting you go. Rock did kill Slash, that's right. Hey. No, go. I only killed your friend because he was mean to me. Alright. Never mind then. I wonder if I can knock him into the fireplace. See, Dark can hit you, but he does an absolutely pitiful amount of damage. Can I knock him into the fireplace with a bomb, is the question. Oh, I fell in the fireplace, never mind. I appear to be stuck. Ah, screw it. Ah, trap set. Oh, that's right, I can't affix it to that wall, can I? For reasons. Well, rip da. Some of them are set up so that if you damage them enough, they try running away, but I don't think that works with Da. Let's drop a rock on him and end this madness. Yeah, Katie, this is a game called Kagero. It is very clunky. It runs at like I'm not dropping frames. This is just what it looks like. It's trying to render a pretty complex 3D environment on the PS1. Not great, but I was describing it as like reverse survival horror, in which you are the inhabitant of the creepy cursed building. And people go into there trying to like clear you out, and what you have to do is you have to trap them like this, and you have no means of defense outside of the traps you can set. And the idea is that you want to combo the traps together. So you want to do like set up like a bear trap catches someone's foot, and that sets off like an arrow, and then like a rock lands on them and rolls down some stairs. Yeah, I'm not overly fond of the way it says perfect genocide bonus at the end. But, this was localized very cheaply 20 years ago, so... And yeah, depending on how you treat the people who invade the castle, you get slightly different, kind of like, branching storylines, so... Go make some... What traps didn't we make last time? I'm gonna make the vase, because that just, like, lands on someone's head. Yeah, Eldon being Swedish for the fire. I'm pretty sure we mentioned that when we recorded it, but she might have cut that out. But yeah, it looks like the fire is important, because they make, like, the people in the trailer are, like, cracking and crumbling and turning into fire. And at the same time, like... They say, like, the sky is burning, and you see, like, the sky is all on fire, kind of like Dark Souls 3, so... Oh, it was cut. Okay, yeah. The root, like, word that's, like, Eldir, like, Eld, things like that, they refer to fire, so... Oh, nice, we can afford a fire arrow. Okay, this is another, like, combo you can do where you, like, drop oil on something and then if you hit it with a flame trap, it'll catch fire. And we only get 3 traps per, like... Here we go. Okay, so we want to remove the... Get rid of slow gas. Replace it with oil. Okay, cool. Confused gas, yeah. The translation is... Well, I want to say the translation's not great, but it's better than a lot of stuff that was around this time. I sincerely hope Elden Ring has monster girls in it, yes. One of the things that we talked about is, like... The way that Miyazaki described it is that he met with George R.R. Martin to kind of design the world. But then as far as I'm aware, the game itself is pretty much just them. So it's like they're designing the game and the progression and the story and everything, but they're doing it from, like, Martin's foundation. The first Deception game lets you build monster girls, but they removed that later on. I have a really bad monster fighting game that I could put in after this, because I have it on disc. That's got, like, you can play as a Medusa. It's like if you imagine someone made Darkstalkers in Unity and then gave up and just released it. It's called Killing Zone. So this time we're going to lie and say that... Oh, he says we're lying anyway. Yeah, I don't know anything about, like, Martin's work, so I don't know how it's going to play out. Miyazaki mentions being a fan of Martin, so... And yeah, again, if you're looking at this and thinking, wow, they're dropping a lot of frames. They aren't dropping frames, this is what it plays like. Kind of reminds me of, like... I guess the original Resident Evil, where, like, that has controls that are not great, but at the same time, that sort of adds to the adds to the sort of atmosphere, because it's like you're trying to run away from something and you can't quite do it. This is the same deal. I'm trying to escape, but I'm really unbelievably slow. So let's try to knock this guy into the chair. I don't know if it'll work, so we might not have enough. Do we do it? Yes! Cool. And set the bomb off. So that is the kind of stuff that you want to do. And as the traps get more and more, like, complicated, as you unlock more of them, you sort of start chaining them together into these weird, like, Rube Goldberg devices. Where you're, like, blowing people, like, all the way across the room into a giant pot. And then, like, setting the pot on fire and things. Is there a mimic in this? I don't know. Hey, Gaston. Follow me. Follow me at 12 frames a second. Oh, hang on, I've electrocuted myself. Never mind. Yeah, I was saying before most people showed up, the original Deception, this is Deception 2, but the original Deception let you, like, you didn't just have traps, you also had monsters. And you had to make the monsters out of the people you captured. Kind of Frankenstein style. So, like, you could... I was talking about a specific part where you, like, captured a princess. It was like the princess of the kingdom the game was set in. And then... when you captured her, like, you could turn her into this, like, banshee thing. And then the knights would show up trying to rescue her, and they'd be confronted with, like, the banshee ghost version of the princess. Wouldn't recognize that she was a monster, and then they would, like, not fight her. But that was a really, like, specific thing that you had to trigger. It's, like, a really kind of interesting... Just an interesting kind of series that lets you do weird stuff like that. That I feel like that's what interested me about the Souls games as well, is it's just full of stuff that most people are going to completely miss. And that's fine. And I feel like the problem I have with some of the other ones, especially like 3, is that it wants to make sure you don't miss anything, with the exception of Archdragon Peak. So, like, if you play 3, it's almost like you're being shown around. They don't want you to miss anything, whereas in something like this, you can just, like, miss half the story. Well... Oh, okay. Damn it! My trap didn't work. He walked out of it. He runs slow, they all run slow, because this is a very, very slow game. Deception 1 is even slower. And in first person. Oh, hey, Sincere. Hi. Yeah, old games with weird crap everywhere is exactly what I'm here for. Problem is they don't often make for especially good streams. Because the weird crap is kind of, like, hard to show off. You don't appreciate it until, like, the 7th or 8th time you go through it. Now we get another one of these little cutscenes where our creepy vampire tombed parents are like, well, we've certainly raised an absolute sociopath and she's murdered a lot of people. Well done. It's like, I know. And yeah, as she's saying, like, what if she betrays us? Like, you can. Depending on how you do this, you can actually turn on the tombed and become, like, you can usurp them. And much like the great ones, the tombed cannot reproduce. So they need to, like, raise human children as tombeds. Yeah, games that are willing to experiment that might not be polished. This is actually, believe it or not, a more polished version of the first Deception game. Which was, like, really, really all over the place. Well, notice the tombed have, like, blue skin, which is a common thing in... I don't know where it comes from, but in Japanese media, they often depict vampires as having blue skin. Never quite got why, but that is a thing. And I'm pretty sure that that's what they're trying to kind of invoke in Dark Souls 2 with the, what are they called? The Finito. With, like, Agdane being this, like, blue-skinned guy who lives in a crypt, that he's meant to kind of be like a vampire. And God, they're probably left over from that weird, like, that early version where the plot was about the immortals that lived underground that Vendrick was looking for. Oh, the Chinese hopping ones are great. I love those. Yeah, Jiangxi. Okay, let's have a look at who we got to take out this time. It's... Oh, there's 3 of them. Okay, we've got Gerald, McLeod, and Rain. So Rain is going to be a little difficult to take out because she's got a ranged weapon, so we can't really draw her toward us. It might be that, Katie. I don't know exactly where it comes from. But it's, yeah. And again, like, this is, you know, Souls-like. Because you get these little bios that'll kind of comment on each other. So here we get the background of this, like, mercenary group called Red Blood. It's these 3 people. And apparently, like, Rain is secretly in love with one of them. And if you look at McLeod, you get this, like, thing saying he's a coward who's afraid to oppose you. So what traps can we build now that we have some more arc? Oh yeah, we've got a bunch of new ones now. Ooh, a rolling bomb. That sounds cool. Bye, Mr. Cuddles. So... We'll replace the arrow slit with the rolling bomb. There are a lot of lion walls in this, yes. Looks like Gerald is going to kill the Tunt with the help of Dead Moon. The Red Blood do not respect the Tund. Do you mean you don't respect the Tund? The Tund gave us life. I love to picture the meeting where it was decided that they couldn't fit the word timenoid properly in these speech boxes, so they had to abbreviate it to Tund. Okay, so we're in this room. He's probably going to close on us before we can set any traps up, so what I want to do is... we set up a rolling bomb, like, to cover this part. And like a bear trap to trap him if he tries to get too close. We might be able to catch him there. It rolled past him! Oh. Oh well. Let's bring the old electric chair back out. Press wall. And bomb. And a... can I put one above that? I can't, damn. Let's put it at the top of the stairs, try to get him as he's coming down. Yeah, if you want to learn more about Tunds, this game is actually the sequel to the first Deception game, which is called Devil's Deception Invitation to Darkness. And although this is the sequel, technically narratively it's a prequel, and this ends with you kind of becoming the weird girl in the first Deception game. What a name indeed. There's also a PS2 one that's just called Trapt. It's Traptd. It's like Sin going tippa 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 tippa. And that one is basically the same as this, but on the PS2. Yeah, so we were actually able to talk our way out of that. You just say, like, yeah, I like, don't have a choice but to kill him because he attacked me first. And they're like, okay, that makes sense. You're just a person. He came in, tried to kill you, you defended yourself. We'll leave. Bye. And there you go. That's the end of the mission. Yes, and McLeod died being doused by the vault chair. So this introduces this kind of like minor antagonist character called Dead Moon, who is a wizard who, like, he's out to sort of kill you specifically, and he reappears, I think, multiple times depending on how you do it. See, here they're calling them Time Noids, not Tund. So I'm not sure what the convention is. And yeah, for people who've just tuned in, this series is technically still going. But it gradually got hornier and hornier. And it's now basically just like kicking people into sort of sexy torture devices. And lots of DLC costumes. And the fact that this company is now like merged with the company that made Dead or Alive, probably part of it. That damn Keith, he'll pay for this. And yeah, the individual characters in this, like, they put a little effort into making them distinct. Like, we have this, could just be a random assassin, but it's specifically this, like, unique looking character called Martia, who will have her own bio. Oh yeah, Fatal Frame. Again, I was we're gonna do some Fatal Frame stuff, and I've been talking to people about it, and they both mentioned that, like, the Fatal Frame series got horny at one point. There were like sexy ghosts in it, and they're like, this is embarrassing. Okay, see you, Harvey. I'll go for a bit longer. I want to see if I can get the encounter with Goatbone. Didn't Silent Hill turn into a sex? Oh, Silent Hill's Konami though, but like that's now it's now a pachinko series. Yes. Um, we'll just bank our arc until next time. Who are we dealing with here? Hey, Jacob. Okay, we're dealing with characters we didn't even see in the cutscene. That's how much there is going on in this. We got like Hana, Ash, and stats. Oh, here we go. This guy's described as a coward, so he'll probably run. Like we may just be able to leave him and he'll run away. Yeah, Goatbone. There is a character in this whose name is Goatbone as one word. It is Goatbone. It describes, like on the bio, that this Hana girl has like a brotherly relationship with the other soldier, so they'll probably react strangely if we defeat one or the other. So Hana and Ash, they're approaching us from different directions. So let's set up the chair combo we used last time. And then I will try to deal with whoever's coming up the stairs. Also, as well as this looking very clunky to control, it also, like, this is PS1, so there is no analog. This is entirely with the D-pad. It is pretty clumsy. There's a hook in this room that goes along, so I wonder if I can trap her, like... Oh, okay, I can't put it there. Let's put it there and see if it's possible to, like, trap her with that hook. Well, the hook doesn't seem to get her. What do I do in this game? This game is a third-person action game where you have no direct means of attack or defense. But you control the traps in this creepy haunted castle. So you have to, like, set them and then lure people into them. And it is there's 5 games in the series, and I have 4 of them. The third one did not get a PAL release. I don't have it, but... Anyway, I like this, and I was talking to Sin about it, and we're like, yeah, you should stream this, so here we go. This is my original copy. Oh, okay, so Hana's now retreating, which is interesting. It is a very cool concept, and it's not an especially well-known series, but it's still going. Like it's become basically fan servicey stuff, but it's still, you know, pretty like solid. The reason I'm interested in it is that you don't have to kill these people. Like, there's usually... Like, you can see that one of them is just running. Like, she's just trying to get out of here. We don't have to kill her. We can just leave her and she'll run back to the start of the level. So we'll still get points because we use trap combos on her. But we don't, like... You don't have to kill her. And one thing that we saw earlier was, like... We were attacked by one guy, we killed him, and then his friend showed up and said, why did you kill him? And we just said, well, he came here, he tried to kill me, I was defending myself. And they just said, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you're basically the ghost in the haunted house. And yeah, because, like, we just basically explained ourselves and they left. So there's all... And everything kind of branches based on that. It is a very, very strange and interesting game that does not get a lot of praise when it really should. So now Stats is here. I assume he's the bottom dot. So I'll try to trap him in the electric chair. I don't think it's possible to do a totally non-lethal run because there's some characters that are just... Because you're basically like playing as a vampire. There's characters in it who are just here to kill you and they won't ever stop until one of you is dead. But a lot of them are just like some rando from the village comes in, tries to figure out what's going on in the creepy castle. And then they just like... If you like, you know, freak them out, they'll leave. I think Hunter's just going. Unless Stats can go invisible, because I think some of them can do that. And like the first, this is Deception 2. Deception 1 is interesting because you also get to design the mansion. Because here it's a preset map, but in Deception 1 you get to lay the whole thing out. And because of that, like, Deception 1 takes up an entire memory card. So if you played Deception 1 on PS1, you had to have a dedicated memory card just to play Deception 1, because it saved this whole gigantic map. Yeah, she does look a lot like Shanoa from Castlevania, you're right. So, Stats was in here. So if I can lure him into the chair, where is he? Where is he? Oh, can he go invisible? Yeah, he's a thief, of course. So let's just wait by here for Stats to show up. Did everyone see the Elden Ring analysis? I recorded it. I don't recall large portions of it. Where's Stats gone? Yeah, I'm hoping it's like Celtic stuff as well. And I was talking to Vodka Folly about it, because she's big into like Celtic folklore. So hopefully, if it is, we can talk to her about it. Where is Stats? Oh, I think Neo Lucky wants to paint a portrait of Ebruitus, a character who... Ah, he's back in that room, okay. Ebruitus is a character who we came up with off-camera. And now has just appeared in things with no context. So the story behind Ebruitus is that Sin was talking about Ebrietus, but she was very tired at the time, and said Ebruitus. And this caused Ebruitus to be summoned instead. Ebruitus is the canon spelling, yes. Oh, I see. He's by the... The wall? Okay, let's try to trap him by the wall then. He just seems to want to stand there. Alright then. And let's put something on the floor. Should do a live reading of the werewolf fiction. The problem is that the werewolf fiction is like... That is somebody's actual work. Like, I'm not gonna, like, if I read it out, it's sort of like, no, just buy it. Okay, so we got rid of Stats and Ash, but Hana escaped. Okay, Acheron just filling us in on some more about Nuada, the guy with the silver arm. And, like, now we're going down another pathway because Martia has seen us kill a bunch of people, and she's like, okay, this Millennia seems like she might be useful to me. So all these characters are kind of like, they've thought out who is betraying who and who is working with who, and it is just neat. And King Eclipse is worried about the Tums. Oh, the humans have killed 5 of the Tums. Okay, we're now introducing Hornstein. Eclipse with a Y, Dusk, Yokal, and Hornstein. If we don't get Goatbone, I will, like, just find a picture of him online. There's a wiki dedicated to this series called Trappedia. If you want to check out, like, more information about this. Well, this game came out in 1998, so Millennia would be, like, a millennial. She'd be, like... She'd be Gen Y. Yeah, this font is, like... A lot of games used it. It's like, it just makes it easier to read on CRT displays, but it doesn't look great now that we're running it through like this. Yeah, if 96 is the cutoff point, then Millennia is a millennial. So I think... Yeah, we get another map now. There's nothing wrong with liking goat monsters. They are very valid. Goatbone, sadly, is not a goat monster. He is just a man with a silly name. Hornstein! Hornstein and Hoff. Ho. So let's get our bio on Hornstein. So, like a true millennial, we've had to move back in with our parents. And they have a very nice house. This is presumably their, like, Boomer McMansion. And the guy's name is Dead Moon, yes. So we're now in a much bigger castle, and it's got, like, you can see it has about twice as many rooms, and they've all got special, like, built-in traps to them, so. Let's... Who are we dealing with this time? Hornstein. Hornstein is a rich businessman who regularly contributes to the king, adopted and raised many orphans. And we finally get to meet Dead Moon. Yeah, so he's a member of the same, like, group that the previous soldiers were from, but it says here that he's secretly scheming to control the country. And Dead Moon is annoying because he can heal himself. So let's see what we can make with our arc. You know what? I'm going to make a vase filled with lava. We've got 1,200 left. What else? Let's make the magnet, because I quite like that. It's amusing to watch. Okay. So we want to replace the regular vase with the lava vase. And let's replace the no, we'll replace the press wall with the magnet. And let's go. Okay, versus Hornstein. I haven't saved at all, so if we get killed by Dead Moon, I'm just going to call it a night, because I don't want to have to replay all this. And we've been going for about 90 minutes. A vase is a bad place to put lava. Presumably this is some kind of, like, reinforced heat-resistant vase. You can also kind of see, just from this angle, that, like, the textures are slightly warped. That is original PS hardware. That's what it did. It had real problems with texture warping and deformation that a lot of emulators kind of fix, but if you played on original hardware, things were just sort of, like, bent and weird a lot. Okay, so they look like they're both coming toward me. So we've got to figure out how to trap them. There's just some spikes coming through the floor here. We could... Some slight issues there with the, like... Oh, that's Dead Moon, okay. I will try to spare Hornstein. I don't know if it'll let me. So that's me there. So I want to be like... I'll try to like stick him to the wall and then drop the lava vase on his head. I'm glad that like PS1 graphics are making a comeback, because I do quite like this era. Will we say, oh, I don't know. I'm not killing anyone. Yep, and then... So even if you're like, well, it wasn't me, he's just like a horrible person, so he'll just try to kill you anyway, because he's Dead Moon, true to his name, is not very nice. And his bodyguard Hagane is here, who is also coming through the floor, through the door, so... Let's try to knock Dead Moon out of the way. And he went in the wrong direction. And again, we've got a guy with projectiles. Oh, good, okay. Oh, good, we got him with the lava vase on his head. We've done a fair amount of damage, and Dead Moon is now stumbling around with a thing on his head. Taken quite, yeah. Both these characters have ranged attacks, so it's kind of difficult to deal with them. Okay, Hagane's down. Hey Ethan, we've been streaming Kagero for about 90 minutes. Hornstein's here. Okay, where is my healing thing? If you've just joined us, you have a healing item called the Healing Loon. And it looks like I have 3, and none of them are in this room. They're like a floating crystal you gotta touch. Hornstein is here, we will see him. If I take the back door, I should be able to get to the Healing Loon. Or maybe he'll just walk over this. Oh, cool, okay. Maybe I can take out Dead Moon while I'm in here. Maybe that'll just blow up on the... Oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave. Give this chick some goblins. If this were the first deception, we could have goblins. But that game is quite a bit more complicated and is like a much more like a menu management thing, so... Gotta get... Where's my loon? Oh, map, not trap. Okay, so if I go down here, there should be a loon. Well, see, because the way they write it, the reason, like, I and, like, a capital I and a lowercase L kind of look the same. So when I saw it, I thought, oh, it's meant to be like Ioun. Like, because in Dungeons and Dragons, there are things called Iron Stones that heal you. And I thought, oh, it's that. But then, no, the game just straight up calls it a loon. It's Hornstein. Okay, how are we going to deal with Horn? He seems pretty slow, so... Is he just going to leave? Oh, he is, okay. See, Hornstein, I think, is just trying to rob us. So he will be... Oh, Sin has brought up the quality of my setup many times as something that needs to be addressed. Okay, Dead Moon seems to be following us in here. And if I run past Hornstein, I should just ignore him. I will not harm our beautiful boy Hornstein, it's fine. So let's set up traps in here because Dead Moon's going to come through. Rolling bomb. And why not add a bear trap? Damn it, we missed. Oh, good, we got him. Now, Hornstein has come in the room. I will try to preserve him. Damn it, he's healing himself. Come on, do it. Yeah, this is why, Katie, I don't especially want to stream the whole thing, because it ends up a bit, like, dragging on like this for a while. More people start to invade the castle with, like, healing and invisibility and stuff. It can drag. Come on. Let's just rolling bomb again and hope it hits him. It looks good for PS1. The issue is that it runs very slowly. Like, what you're seeing here isn't stream lag and isn't like an emulator. This is just, like, it runs very, very slowly. If we can get out of the way before this lands, this should do an end. Come on, little bomb. You can make it. Oh, it missed him. No, it's not good. Just hide behind here and hope he... Oh, damn it, the vase missed. No, that is not lag. This is the actual speed I am playing it at. It is not ideal. And I think we're dead, because these things are really hard to... Yeah, he got us. Oh no. Well, we have 1 hit point left or something. Now we're dead. Okay. That was Kagero Deception 2. Yeah, okay, we'll give this another shot. I thought it would boot me back to the title screen, but we can try again. Castle of Illusion, of course, a well-known Mickey Mouse game. Okay, so... Dead Moon Take 2. So what we want to do is... I wonder if I run back I can trap him in... Oh, I remember, this has secret doors in it, doesn't it? Yes, it does. I wonder if he's smart enough to follow us through there. And yeah, like, if you've just joined us, I was saying that, like, in the very first Deception, you actually get to build the castle yourself. But that was very, very intensive in terms of, like, how much memory it used up. So, which of these is the fake wall again? Is it this one? It's this one, okay. Very, very intensive in terms of the amount of memory it used up. So, it used up an entire memory card. Like an entire PS1 memory card, just to play the first Deception. So, sadly, we don't get to play that. Why aren't there more modern games like this? I guess the closest analog we have now would be Dungeon Keeper, but like that turned into a freemium mess, so... So does Dead Moon know about the hidden wall is the question. He's gone up to it, so I'm guessing he does. Put the Mega Rock here and see if I can roll it at him later on. So we just need to get him stand there. And we can trap him. Okay, he's coming through. So remember, like, regardless of what we say, he tries to kill us anyway, so... It rolled past him again! How does that even work? He was literally stuck to the ground in a bear trap. Okay. Try this again. No, it rolled past him again. Actually, I wonder if I can get him to try climbing up here. Yeah, the movement is incredibly slow. Haha. Oh, he dodged. I wonder if I can set a rolling bomb on the stairs. Okay, I'm going to try trapping him on the stairs, so... we'll put a bear trap there, and then hopefully, if I catch him in that, I can hit him with both at once, but I'll have to survive until they... Yeah, the movement is locked to a grid. It's sort of, like, really awkward to control. And also, like, remember, this is PS1, so no analog. This is all D-pad. Okay, so hopefully if he tries to climb the stairs, get him in the bear trap. Damn it! Really? Oh well. Oh yeah, I think we killed him. I mean, I blew myself up too, but... Dead moon is dead moon. Okay, so we're just left with Hornstein. Wonder if Hagane's still going to be here. Oh yeah, Hagane is still around, so... I think maybe Hagane's not smart enough to find this room because it's behind a hidden door. Yeah, I don't quite... He did say, "Forgive me, Master Dead Moon." Maybe that was like a robot Dead Moon or something, I don't know. There's Hagane. Okay. Wonder if he sees me go through the door, he'll follow, because I can just redo the same trap I got Dead Moon in. Good, okay. Yeah, the translation is not great, as evidenced by the presence of Hornstein. Okay, good. We got rid of Dead Moon and Hagane. We are still alive, and now we just have our beautiful boy Hornstein left. Amusingly, like, I was looking for footage of this the other day. There was a video that was called Kagero brackets 60 FPS. So, like, good work, but this is locked at, like, 12 FPS regardless of what you run it on. You'd need to, like, patch it or something. How many times have I played this? I played this an awful lot when I was a teenager. Since then, I really haven't. It's because it's a very long, involved thing, and I don't really have time. Hey, it's Hornstein. So I don't know if Hornstein will ever leave, or if he just wanders around till he dies. He's not very strong. So I wonder if, like, if I do enough damage to him, he'll just leave. Let's put a bear trap. And, wonder if the rock will roll down here. Oh, he's left. Okay. Well, I want him to leave peacefully, but he's refusing to. To remember that last time we did this, he did actually leave, but this time he isn't. And it's like, because the progression depends on like what happens to who in what order. Where's he headed? Kill him and take his hat. Well, because this series got very waifu heavy later on, they did add like costumes and stuff. But I don't think they give you Hornstein's hat, unfortunately. Yeah, it gets very, like... We're saying it got picked up by the Dead or Alive people, because this is a Koei Tecmo game, so it just turned into, like... DLC costumes and, like, slightly kinkier traps. Is he gonna follow me in here? Okay, he's on his way. Oh, what? He's just turned around and left? Fine, we'll go this way, Hornstein. Bear trap. Oh, hey, Marionette. This is very, very late 90s, yes. This is Kagero, the sequel to Deception, which is also the prequel to Deception. Just push it back. Oh! You know what? I bet he's programmed to just ignore the room if there is a trap in it. Let's remove the one there. I don't know, put it here or something. Now will you come through the door? Yeah, the music is atmospheric, shall we say. It's just like, oh. You have to wait for Ornstein to just waddle through this door. Okay, come on, you can do it. You can do it, Hornstein. You can do it. No, no, he didn't do it. Never mind. This is why I haven't streamed this game before, because shit like this happens a lot. And you cannot put traps in halls only... Ah, okay, good. He must not go into a room if you're in the room. On our back is a tattoo. Neolucky pointed out it's very much like Shanoa in Castlevania. Okay, I'll forgive you. You can leave. Good. Okay, move over, Undertale. This is the new pacifist game. So, where's the exit? Hopefully he'll just leave. Come on. If you think this is slow, by the way, there is a trap that slows enemies down. So, you can imagine just how tedious this game can get. Okay, he's just heading for the front. He's just heading for the entryway, so... Oh my god, hurry up! Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you, Hornstein. We've been going for 2 hours, so I think once we escort Hornstein to safety, I will call it a night. Come on. Easy does it. You can make it. Oh my god. I'm contemplating setting a trap just to, like, blow him to the entryway, but I'm worried that would kill him. Good, good. You're almost there, come on. Come on. Head to a fine texture warped door. I mean, this is still better than the pathfinding in Daikatana, so we could be playing that. Good. We're on the home stretch, just turn 90 degrees and leave. Phew. Well, don't tempt me to play Daikatana, because I have beaten that game. I think Hornstein could be a bear, honestly, given the look of him. Like, we don't know what he gets up to. He is called Hornstein. Oh, yeah, yeah. We didn't actually kill Dead Moon, we killed his double. Much like the last time I streamed, there is a copy of Sonic 2006 in Reach, and I am on a PS3 right now. Have I beaten Battletoads? I have beaten the Game Boy Battletoads, but I did not have an NES growing up. So I did not play Battletoads. Yes, yes, Jacob, Dead Moon is now a live moon. Sadly, I do not have Sonic Unleashed, so we will not be seeing any Were-Hogs in the near future. Okay, I think we've been going for 2 hours and we've yet to see Goatbone. So I might just save and call it a night. I have some other ones I could put in after I'm done with this. You had Sonic and the Secret Rings. That is incredible. The motion-controlled runner. With grinding. There is a person named Goatbone, yes. I might... when I'm done, I'll figure out what level Goatbone is in, and I will stream Goatbone by popular demand. So, I will now... I might put in Deception 1. Just to show you what that's like. The cat is currently trying to chew my controller lead, so... You may hear a loud crash in the future. Okay, here we go. Devil's Deception, Invitation to Darkness. Do I play SingStar? No. No. The story of these games is that you play someone who is, like, bound to a haunted castle. And then people come to try to rob it or to try killing you. And then you gotta defend yourself. Why do I have SingStar? I guess it just installed itself. Like, or it just came with the firmware or something. I've never touched it. Oh, yes, Sunsoft. Hornstein and Goatbone sound like bootleg Castlevania. They do. There's not just one level. There's, like, multiple parts of the castle that you kind of visit, so... Anyway, here is the very, very... beautiful title screen, Devil's Deception, Invitation to Darkness. This is from 1997. You can see on the language selection screen, like, the woman down the bottom is, like, blue skin, like a Tumd from previous, so... I don't know if they go into much Tumd lore in this. I think that might have just been in the sequel. Maybe a Bruitus will do SingStar. You know, this is the game so cool it took an entire memory card. Input name. Goatbone. See, we did see him after all. What podcast am I dreading recording? I don't know, because I'm nervous about Elden Ring. Oh yeah, it's Doom Kitty. It's TMD, which is meant to be short for Time Noid, because in this world the vampires are called Time Noids. I'm nervous about Elden Ring because I don't know what it's going to be. Like, I just have no idea what it's going to be about. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, let's hope it's good, but I don't know what it's going to be like. I brought this up, like, I was on a stream with the No Cartridge Audio guys. I was saying, like, I hope Elden Ring does well, and it looks like it's, like, quality from what we've seen, but it's kind of frustrating that it's another Dark Fantasy RPG, when From are pretty eclectic, and they can do more stuff. And it just feels like they're limiting themselves. I want them to just go back to making, like, Mecha or something. Or just, like, they can do other stuff. Like, the reason I've been streaming their old stuff is to kind of show that off. That, like, they have it in them to make, like, cute little puzzle games about rabbits. But it's been nothing but dark fantasy for almost a decade at this point. We all want another mech game. I'm hoping that, like, all the body parts and shit in Elden Ring means there'll be a system where you have to, like, assemble a body like Frankenstein. That would be rad. So there's that guy with the 6 arms in the trailer, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if we get to stick body parts to ourselves. Yeah, flesh mech. Oh, when they said open world, Miyazaki clarified and said it's not open world in, like, a Skyrim or Witcher sense. It's like open world in that it's going to be just, like, a very large and non-linear game, kind of. I guess kind of like Dark Souls 2, where, like, from the start of Dark Souls 2 you can kind of go anywhere you want. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, it sounds a bit like Demon Souls. But instead of warping from a nexus, you just have an open world where the areas were physically connected. So yeah, if you know your Legacy of Kain, it's that again. We were killed, and I'm not skipping this, it goes for a while, but, like, in this you play as a guy who is killed, and when you sort of, like, you make a deal with the devil to become the lord of the evil castle. Yeah, I would be really into, like, some, like, necrotech body horror shit. Because there's that book in Derasane that talks about blood and bones. And it talks about, like, there's a world where people made their weapons out of, like, body parts. And I'm thinking, I really hope that is them, like, describing Elden Ring. Because I would love a game where you had to, like, craft weapons out of, like, meat and bones and things. That would be great. But I don't think they're going to do that. Oh, look, it's Urias. So this is a Souls-like. Yeah, I'd like to see them experiment with different settings as well. They almost do that with Karthus in because in Dark Souls 3, like, we've been over stuff that was removed, but, like, the original plan was that Anor Londo would be in a desert. And the reason that, like, they talk about Karthus of the Sands and the desert pyromancers, and there's those people who have those, like, very long sort of, like, robes on and, like, sort of scimitars, is because there was going to be, like, Karthus as an area was going to be this, like, kind of Middle Eastern fantasy land. But they ended up kind of scrapping it and turning it into Irithyll, which is kind of a shame. So anyway, here is our character making a deal with the devil to become basically Dracula from Castlevania, where we, like, become Lord of the Chaotic Castle. I'm not going to play this for that long because it's like almost 2.5 hours, so I'm going to have to call it a night soon. But this is pretty much the same game, but you get to make parts of the castle yourself. Yeah, Irithyll is the strongest part of Dark Souls 3. I don't know at what point you unlock the ability to make parts of it, but hopefully it's from the beginning. May have to do a tutorial first or something. And yeah, this was one of the first games I played on PS1. I remember renting it. That's how I got into the series. So yeah, we move kind of fast. Like I was comparing it to Kingsfield. We definitely move faster than Kingsfield. This is the map. And like you can see it's laid out on a grid. Like a kind of, almost looks like a roguelike generated it. And you can see that we can scroll pretty far in all the directions, even though there's nothing there. And that's because that's where you can add stuff. But I don't think we can add anything yet. Let's talk to this dude. Who is it? Oh, it's me. It's a bit of a letdown to go from Goat Bone to the Soldier. And they go into detail about how like there's something hidden here and everyone wants it. Which is kind of why people keep like trying to break into your castle. Your first game was Banjo-Kazooie. Oh, cool. 3D game. My first game ever was Mario Land on the Game Boy. First 3D game, I don't know. I don't know if Wolfenstein counts, because that's like 2D with 3D projection. Pokemon Yellow, nice, nice. I had Pokemon Blue, and my friend had Pokemon Red. And through several sleepovers, we were able to get all 150 by trading. Okay, well, Wolfenstein counts. My first 3D game was Wolfenstein. Oh, Ultimate Abyss, that is nice. And yeah, another thing that this game does that the other one doesn't is like each of these rooms has a specific like look to it and function. So if you remember like Kagero, the rooms were just kind of like, it's a stone room with some like some chairs in it. This is very clearly, this is just a dining room. It's got like, you know, it's got tables and chairs like a dining room, and a fireplace like a dining room, and it says dining room when you come in. It looks nothing like Deception 2 now because we're still in like the tutorial section. But eventually we get to set up the traps and everything. But I don't know when that actually unlocks because I've not played this for some time. I remember this guy very, very distinctly. Okay, check the second floor. The key is there. Thank you. See, a lot of people are talking about, like, necrotech stuff, and I want there to be, like, an updated version of Evo Search for Eden. Where your character just constantly, like, morphs and shifts into different shapes as you're playing. I feel like Elden Ring might be, intended to be a series, more so than Dark Souls was. Because they keep mentioning it's like the successor to Dark Souls. Oh, here we go. Here are some traps. It's the Monty Python foot. So it's a different setup to Kagero. That you just activate the trap that is nearest to you. The lady is... I think the lady is actually Millennia from Kagero. Oh, no, in Elden Ring, yeah. The lady in this is... I think she is Millennia from Kagero. That's like the ending. It loops around. But, yeah, this, again, like, this is, you can inspect stuff. Which you can't really do in, like, the other Deception games. This is, yeah, this is just, like, where it, it's like what could, like, directions it could have gone and it didn't. So, I think we'll call this a day, and then I'll just quickly put in Deception 3. Sorry, 4, so you can see where it ended up being. What it ended up kind of turning into. So this is Deception 4. It is also on PS4. That version is called Deception 4 The Nightmare Princess, and it's basically like the same with some sort of DLC stuff added. Excited for Blair Witch. I didn't know there was a new Blair Witch. Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't see much of E3. I watched a bit of the Bethesda conference with some friends, but that's just because they were watching it. I was very glad they announced an HD remaster of Final Fantasy VIII. So I can go play Triple Triad again. I think we can live without the story. I'm glad I don't have to walk Sin through FF8, because I still do not understand the story of that. Might just up the volume slightly. That's better. I did when we were playing 7 and Sin was like, oh, I bet everyone just got amnesia at the same time. And I had to be like, well, another game did that. This is a bit loud. This will be better. Ultimacia is very cool. So when I said that they got kind of horny, this is what I mean. So this is the character we play as. And in the expanded version on PS4, you play as the woman with the red hair as well. And they have kind of slightly different fighting styles. And yeah, the cutscenes, like, they become this sort of very talky, almost visual novel-esque presentation rather than what we saw in 1 and 2. So again, we're back to like characters with bios and everything, which is nice. We can check out their stats. They have like vulnerabilities, resistances, etc. So I have forgotten where the trap is. Oh, it's down here. Okay, that's fine. You move a lot faster and more fluidly in this because we're back to analog. But, yeah, Katie puts it best. Half her bum out. This is, again, like, this is the default outfit, so you can imagine what the DLC outfits are like. I do not have any. I think one of the DLC outfits they added is Millennia's outfit from 2, so you can... I've completely forgotten how you actually trigger traps in this. Oh, okay. Ah, I get it, okay. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, this is pretty much, we're back into Kagero territory with this one. So... Okay, here we go. Yeah, anime women and aging is like... I don't know if you've seen Pat Labor. They in the documentary for that, they make a really big deal out of how it was difficult for them. One of the characters in Pat Labor is meant to be, like, 40s. They made a whole deal about how, like... it was sort of hard for them to design her. Because everyone was like, no, you have to make her look, like, young and stuff. Anyway. But yeah, it's like it's the same gameplay, basically. So yeah, it's basically just Kagero in HD. Yeah, I know. We had that discussion when we were talking about Reborn with Sin, where it was like everyone in that universe sort of like they're either an indeterminate age between 15 and 40, and then they just sort of become like a prune instantly. It's very hard to tell how old anyone is supposed to be. Anyway, you get the idea. It's the same. It moves faster. It's in higher definition. It's more pandering, but you know, I like these games in spite of everything. Hey. So yeah, you get the idea. I think that's probably enough of Deception 4. There is another one that's called Trapit, but that is PS2. I don't have my PS2 hooked up, so there will be no Trapita. Oh good, we get a very tasteful wallpaper. Oh yeah, I stopped playing Pokemon after G1 because I became obsessed with like hunting them, and I'm like, if I'm in a position where I have to like there's too many of them, I'm gonna just go like, I will not be able to do this. I don't know, let's just I guess we'll like let's play a bit of Alex Kidd in Miracle World while we kind of call it a night. So let's just turn this down a little because this game has high-pitched chiptune music. So I've never played this on stream, but I've brought it up a lot. So, Alex Kidd in Miracle World. This is a game that, if you had a Sega Master System, I think the second revision of it, and you just turned it on without a cartridge in the slot, it would just default to playing this. Like, this was just in the system BIOS. So, everyone who had a Master System that I knew kind of had Alex Kidd by default. So a lot of people, like, in the Australia or other PAL regions, where the Master System was a big success, have a lot of memories of this game. And they also remember never making it past, like, level 3, because it is very hard. So Alex Kidd was the Sega mascot they had before Sonic the Hedgehog. And he is a little, monkey child. He's a martial artist. This is his... I think, yeah, this is the first Alex Kidd game. It is so confusing. It is very difficult. Because it is like, you'd think, oh, this is just a platform where you punch things. No, it's got an inventory system, it's got money, and it has... Yeah, Acheron just bringing up the Grim Reaper, who... I will trigger the Grim Reaper to show you. In this game, sometimes when you open treasure things, they just have a ghost in it that zooms into you, and if it touches you, you die. And all that money there, that is not just, like, for show. You need that money to buy items in between levels, because there are shops. And, like, it is so... Like, there are elements of this that are utterly baffling. Like, I'll show you the bosses when we get there, but, like... Another thing this does is, throughout the game there are these, like, magic kind of symbols you have to remember. You don't collect them, you remember them. And then at the very, very, very end of the game, you have to remember what order you saw them in to input a code to actually beat the game. So it's possible to get to the end of this thing, beat the final boss, which is no mean... Like, that is horrifying on its own terms. You get to the end, and then if you didn't remember the code that you saw, you can't beat the game. And you just get game over, because if you enter it wrong, you die. I mean, like a lot of games of this era, the first level is pretty breezy, and then it becomes borderline impossible later on. So everyone kind of remembers playing the first bit of Alex Kidd, and then not going any further than that. So this is the shop. We did not get that much money, so we probably can't afford anything. Oh no, we can afford the bicycle. Okay. So one thing this game has, that this is like contemporaneous with Mario, and it's a much more ambitious title. It doesn't work quite as well, but check this out. We have a motorcycle. We can just run through everything. The bicycle lasts until you crash into something. Hey, Arby. Yeah, we're actually just we're just wrapping up now, but this will still be up. Okay, here we go with the bosses. So, he says you have to win 3 Janken matches. Janken is rock, paper, scissors. So, the bosses are just straight up rock, paper, scissors. And there is an order, I cannot remember it, but we just gotta try to win. Oh, damn, we lost. Okay. So there's no guarantee I'll be able to get past this, because I can't remember the order. Okay, good. It's a draw. So let's try rock now. Damn it. So yeah, we just, on basis of pure luck, have lost. So we lost a life, we've got to try again. I do have Wonder Boy, so I could do that. Let's try good old rock. Let's try rock again. This is incredibly tense. Damn it! Let's just stick with rock. He'll screw up eventually. Okay, it's neck and neck. We have to really hope he picks rock and not scissors next time. Damn it! So, because this is a port, I'm gonna save. And just try to, like, scum my way through this. Okay. What does he pick first? Yeah, I am because this game is freaking random. I know there is, like, an order to it. Okay, so he picks that first time, so... This is what we had to go through. Well, Mario All-Stars is, like, not a purely luck-based thing. That's the difference here. And you'll be happy to know that there's 3 of these guys. One for rock, one for paper, and one for scissors. And, you have to fight them all twice. So, not only do you have to go through all this crap with them, but then the second time you fight them, even if you get the rock, paper, scissors thing correct, their heads detach and you have to fight them as a boss anyway. His head is a hand. Okay, so the next one he picks is rock. So we've got to load and pick paper. Yeah, they each have, like... One is a rock, one is paper, one is scissors. For the hands. Hey, Harvey. We just cheated our way past the first boss of Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Oh, this game has a very complicated backstory. And it... Oh, actually, no, I might be able to show it off to you. What happens is an NPC at, like, level 3, like, not even at the beginning of the game, sees you and he's like, "Hello, Alex. Here is who you are," and explains the plot to you. Acheronte is asking if the hand monsters are anything to do with the hand monsters in Dark Souls 3. It's possible. I mean, there were serious articles written about how Dark Souls 3 takes place in the same world as Bloodborne. But, I mean, it may as well take place here. This is a secret about what I'm doing now. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's possible to go down into this. Maybe I have to punch it. Oh, there we go. It's just very, very fiddly. I do actually remember the Dark Souls 2's Throne is a Worm thing, because I had someone, like, send it to me. Can I punch the scorpion? I can. The hitbox on your hand is, like, sort of, like, not that generous. So I remember as a kid just being like, I will not even attempt to fight some of these things. Hey, Vodka! I'm playing a classic. I'm actually going to call it a night soon. I'm just doing this as, like, the wind down if anyone has anything else to say about the majesty that is Kagero. I'll just end it. Damn it out! The jump in this is not forgiving. I'm incredibly nervous about landing on this thing safely, because... Oh god. Okay. Phew. God damn it. Yeah, this game is very, very stop and start. It is strange. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I have the magic ring. This is an item that you can find. You can also buy it. And if you use it, and now shoot, like, little Hadoken things. There's a bunch of these items. Oh, here's the guy who explains the plot. Okay. Here's the Alex Kidd lore. Welcome, Alex. You are a prince from the country of Redaxian who was kidnapped by evil men when you were but a small boy. Your native land is now being grossly misgoverned by the tyrant Jenkin the Great. Your mission is to save the populace from him. So very, very kind of experimental approach in which they explain the plot to you at the end of level 3, but not before. So let's grab a helicopter. And you do visit everywhere on that map. So now that we have a helicopter, we get to do this. And you might think, okay, well, if we get hit, what happens? If you get hit, instead of... Oh, we did it. Okay, this helicopter can't survive touching anything. But basically, like, the way this level works is if you can get through it without being hit, there's a ton of cool stuff above you. But as soon as you get hit, you fall into the sea and you have to swim through it. And Alex has now been eaten by a fish. So that was our first non-rock, paper, scissors related death. Oh cool, we can buy a new helicopter. Also, these skull blocks, if you break them, the manual describes it as Alex getting the jitters. So he just sort of locks you in place for a bit. I think this boss might be the bull. We'll see. Yes, okay. So this is a Sekiro-esque rhythm boss. We just have to punch him every time he gets near you, but he speeds up every time. Some more of the great story. Our elder brother, who is called Prince Eagle, is imprisoned in the Redaxian castle. Like, I put this on to just, like, wind down the stream, and I'm now actually seriously playing it. That is the allure of Alex Kidd in Miracle World. This is the first level that I would consider just, like, an unreasonable fuck you, because there is a part of the ground that, like, opens up when you touch it, and it doesn't tell you that it's going to work like that. But it's, like, necessary to get the kind of... Basically, parts of the ground in this game you can fall through, and you need to do it in order to make progress. But it doesn't tell you where they are, and because of the way the game is built, it's possible to get to the end, not have the things you need to end the game, and then just have to do the whole thing again. Anyway, that was Alex Kidd in Miracle World. A game that, if you had a Master System in the early 90s, you probably had by default. Actually, here's another one of the great fuck yous. I'll just let this ghost out. See, Mario did not do that until the Lost Levels. He is eating an onigiri, yeah. In the European version, it's an onigiri. In the US version, they make it a hamburger. We didn't always get the same, like they did them differently. What else do I have on this monstrosity? I haven't touched this thing for, like, very... Yes, it's a jelly-filled donut and, what other... God. There's, like, a Pokemon clip where they call it, like, a donut ball or something. Okay, I think we'll end this finally with a game called Skyscraper that I mentioned on the last one. That is worth it entirely for the amazing voice acting. Let's just up the volume so we don't miss any of this. So this is another PAL exclusive game. It is an FPS called Skyscraper. I don't know how to describe it, so we will just watch the intro in amazement. Here is the Midas Interactive logo, which is my personal seal of quality. So I do have save data for Skyscraper already. I have never beaten this game, but Jesus Christ. Okay, let us begin our journey into Skyscraper.
I had just popped across the road for some of my girlfriend's favourite cake, so that we could keep burning the midnight oil at the office. Things often go wrong when I'm out of the office. Today was no exception. Bad guys with guns, a limited knowledge of firearms, no power to the elevators, and 40 floors to climb. This is definitely one of the more interesting problems I've had to face in my life.
So if you enjoyed that guy's narration, it doesn't stop. He narrates everything he sees, including himself being shot.
Seeing the guards dead on the floor made me feel slightly guilty that I didn't ever get to know the security staff. Having said that, seeing them dead also made me question their competence. That thought also made me feel guilty.
If you have a European PSN account, you can download this on PS3. Also, this game is really goddamn hard, and see that little icon of a beaker?
In the case of an emergency, thus creating a hazard by eliminating numerous possible escape routes.
So you see those little icons of beakers? I have made it pretty far in this game. I have no idea what they do or what they mean. Our character is supposed to be some kind of chemist. I assume you can, like, those are some sort of weapon, like you can mix up improvised explosives or something, but, like, I do not know, and I've gotten, I think, about halfway through this, and I've never seen them do anything. How do I collect these? Maybe I don't. I haven't been shot yet, of course. So there's like a blue one. It almost feels like it's like a cut mechanic that they just didn't remove from the UI. Also, yeah, it goes without saying, controlling this is horrific. You just slide everywhere. This is training for when I play Fortnite, yes. It's one of those, like, commercially released games that if you saw footage of it, you'd assume that, like, Jim Sterling should be complaining over it.
Wow, I suppose I've never been good with people.
Oh, you can see that, like... So here's an example of...
Makes my medicine is a minor convenience in an otherwise unpleasant situation.
So we are on a kind of timer. It's those pill icons. Because we're, like, sick, and we have to keep touching, like, med kits to refill our medication. But this is, like, independent of damage. So, like, you're just on a timer constantly, and if you screw up, you, like, just collapse. I don't know what sickness we're supposed to have. So, I hope you like the hacking game in BioShock, because we have that as well. Good. Those are random every time.
Damage opposite equipment to further more progression is strangely satisfying.
The analog control is simultaneously extremely stiff but oversensitive. So you just kind of like nudge it and you slide, but you slide in like... Yeah, everything about this is absolutely awful. And I will never not love it. It almost feels like they tried making a serious game, realized it was terrible, and then dubbed that guy talking over it to try to position it as a comedy game. Which is not unheard of. So again, you can see, like, there's very obvious, like, beakers in here that match the beakers on the UI, but... I mean, they don't do anything. I have no idea what that means. It's just there. And... yeah, it seriously feels like it's a mechanic that they removed. But then they didn't remove it from the UI, so you just have this permanent line of zeros here. There was a med kit in here I could see. Interesting, it might have been a different room. It is strangely enjoyable, yes, Nier Lucky. I've played this way too much. Which I mean, like, at all, but... we will retry this mission. He does calmly narrate his death, yeah.
I had just popped across the road for some of my girlfriend's favourite cake, so that we could keep burning the midnight oil at the office. Things often...
There's no way to skip cutscenes.
Today was no exception. Bad guys with guns, a limited knowledge of firearms, no power to the elevators, and 40 floors to climb. This is definitely one of the more interesting problems I've had. Seeing the guards dead on the floor made me feel slightly guilty that I didn't ever get to know the security staff. Having said that, seeing them dead also made me question their competence. That thought also made me hazard doors locked down in the case of an emergency, thus creating a hazard by eliminating numerous possible escape routes. I suppose I've never been good with people.
I almost feel like he's trying to be Richard Ayoade from the It crowd. Like this sort of like pedantic, sarcastic narration. But we're here again. And you can see it's a slightly different puzzle. Yeah, it is unreadable, yes. But you're not missing anything because God, this is just dire. I was watching a stream the other day of an FMV game that was very clearly designed to be like a serious fantasy adventure. But it hadn't gone very well, so they got Rob Schneider to record like a riff kind of tracks thing over it. No, we can't make it. Oh, hang on. Oh, we just did it. Okay. To record this, like, narration over it, where it's just...
necessity to damage office equipment to further my progression is strangely satisfying.
And I wonder if it's the same thing here, where they're like, this game doesn't work, so we'll pretend it's a joke. Yeah, the game... I showed... Neo Lucky will know what I'm talking about, because I showed her. It was a game called... A Fork in the Tail. And it was just, like, adventuring around with wizards and stuff, but it was narrated after the fact by Rob Schneider. And there's, like, QTEs with the prompt wisecrack. So you just be like Rob Schneider wisecracking at wizards, but they don't know he's there. There was an excellent ad for it, where he said, with the addition of Rob Schneider and dozens of other stand-ups, FMV now stands for Funny with My Voice. I feel like there's some algorithm you could use to make this thing slightly more beatable, but they didn't do it. Luckily, if you screw up, you can just try again. This is... I mean, it's just dire. Have you never heard of this? This is like a budget Euro-only game that... Like, it's on the PSN store. But... I think only in some regions. Because, like, I was saying this the last time we streamed crap like this, that there were an awful lot of publishers who just published stuff in Europe. Like, really bad, like, budget publishers. Who shot me? Oh, here he is. Oh, the Rob Schneider on A Fork in the Tail. Yeah, it did not do well. It bombed so badly the studio shut down. Just imagine, like, the most generic FMV adventure you can think of. But down the bottom of the screen, there is a button that's, like, wisecrack, and if you click it, Rob Schneider's like, wow, her parents must have been hippies. Because she'll have, like, a fantasy name. And our character is slowly losing consciousness. So I'm gonna have to go find some medicine. I think there's some in here to stop me from passing out. Aw, Cinder's got a ticket. Hello, Mazignsfontfug. We are, no longer playing the game we said we were playing. We are instead playing the PS2 budget classic Skyscraper. No, don't suggest an emergency podcast to it. She'll make us do it. I don't know what the purpose of this room is. Okay, well, I'll try wrapping up Skyscraper, and then when Sin gets back from work, we can discuss how she fought the law and the law won. No, this predates the rock film Skyscraper. think we can agree it's clearly better. I mean, look at this. I feel like the genesis of this was someone joking that, like, what would Half-Life have been like if it just starred an actual nerdy scientist instead of your conveniently buff and capable Gordon Freeman. And then this happened. I swear it is possible to beat this level, because I have done it. I just can't remember how to do it, and my vision is fading in-game. Well, there are a lot of Dwayne Johnson movies out now, so he's hard to keep up with, similar to Jason Statham. He seems like he's cursed to make one new film every 4 months. Is there a melee attack? No, what you're seeing now is our character has some sort of, like, drug dependency. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
Vision's getting a little trippy. It's fun, but not very practical. I need to find some location.
And this is great. This is another hacking puzzle, which is the card matching puzzle from Mario Brothers 3. So, like, what happens is your character has, like, he's reliant on something, I don't know what exactly, but if you don't keep taking pills, he just passes out. So you're kind of just on a timer. This is hacking. Yeah, the way that you hack is to play match 2. Oh god, are we gonna make it here before I pass out? Maybe there's some drugs in here. That little, like, pill icon... Oh, thank god. Oh no. Oh no, that's health, not pills. So we're going to have to stagger there and hope we don't pass out on the way. So yeah, we're down to 1 pill, and I suspect we're going to pass out and not be able to beat the mission.
A little trippy. It's fun, but not very practical. I need to find some location.
Maybe there's some in here. Is it in here? Oh no.
You are better off here for now. I'll come and get you when it's safe. The fact that this place makes my medicine is a minor convenience in an otherwise unpleasant situation. It is but a flesh wound, but it really, really hurts. I should find a medkit.
Oh, there we go. Phew. Now Yeah, this game does not have a map. So... to-do list. I might actually just, if I can quit, I can show you I have a save file later on. Here we go. Quit. There we go, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Okay. This is the furthest I have ever gotten in Skyscraper. I think from memory this is like a car park. Yeah, here we go. Basement car hold. So it's the same. It is not improved at all. Oh.
More bad guys. I hope this isn't just new office dress code.
Oh, hey, thanks, Daleksex. If you've just joined us, I'm not sure what you'll think of this, but we're about to call it a night, because we were going to call it a night an hour ago, and then I opened the shovelware vortex, and here we are. And again, like, this is level 3. I still have no idea what those beakers mean or do. What's on my to-do list? Find out what is wrong with power, gain access to backup generator. Okay, good. I think you should probably go back to sleep and spare yourself this... whatever it is. This will be archived on the channel if you want to re-experience the joy of Skyscraper, which is now set in an underground car park, thus rendering the skyscraper itself largely redundant. Again, there is no map. There's not even like a map drawn on a wall somewhere. You just wander around this maze with your medication gradually running out. That is the game. I have no idea if this is still on. It should still be available. Like, I got this years ago. They may have removed it. Perhaps to spare others, but... Yes, the company logo is plastered all over the walls. This is...
Vision's getting a little trippy. It's fun, but not very practical. I need to find some medication.
Oh god, here we are.
Security lock makes sense. Why would you want to grant easy access to the emergency generator in an emergency?
So that's very good. See, what I used to do is I would search the PSN store for just games published by Midas Interactive. Midas Interactive and Phoenix Games are like the MVPs of the shovelware scene. They just would publish anything. So I can't go there. Oh. Thank you, Neo Lucky. Helping Sin pay off her parking ticket.
Tis but a flesh wound, but it really hurts. I should find a medkit.
Well, I think that's all from Skyscraper for tonight and hopefully ever. I should probably just delete this from my system, burn it, and salt the earth. Hercules Chariot Racing, I have a physical copy of that. I wonder if there's anything I can just, like, leave it on while we're waiting. Okay, I'll leave it on the Sonic Adventure screen while we say our goodbyes. Oh, sorry, Sin, it was a jaywalking ticket. So, I think we're calling it a night now. I'm gonna close this in a couple of minutes. We can watch Central City be destroyed by chaos. And I might turn the sound up slightly so we can hear the beautiful theme from Sonic Adventure. How was the stream? The stream went well, I think. We got through a lot of Kagero, and we played a bit of Deception 1 and a bit of Deception 4, and then this happened. Oh, thank you for showing up, Undra. I'm glad it was good for everyone. Now we've got to be like Sonic and open our heart. Oh, thank you. Eventually I'm going to run out of games and have to play the Sonic Adventure games and maybe Sonic 2006. We do have a 10-hour stream patron goal at some point. So I'm wondering if when we hit that I will attempt to do Sonic 2006. God, these mouths.
Okay, whatever you say.
See, From had the right idea not animating people's mouths. Because look at this.
Hey, the ship is losing altitude.
Hurry, Tails, take Amy and get out of here.
Well, what about you?
I'll find that Eggman and put him out of commission.
Keep in mind, this is the director's cut. I've just done something terrible. So this ensures I will not be playing any more games tonight because there's something in the PS3 now. You may recognize this loading animation. Oh, thank you, Marionette. Oh god, it started by itself. I didn't press anything. Good night, everyone. Make sure to check your beds for plushies of tails that are covered in blood and have mysteriously appeared behind you. Okay, we'll end the stream here with the world of Sonic 2006 engulfed by flame. Everyone died. So, good night, everyone. I'll see some of you later on Discord, and I guess we'll see you again on Friday when Sin streams. I will be there. I will not be streaming. I will be in the voice chat. She is playing something else. So, I will see you then.